One of the problems that humans have, even the most evolved, special, pious, learned humans, is that we never know what's really going on inside somebody else's mind and heart. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it works against us. So if you go back historically, in the old days in Jerusalem, when we had the Sanhedrin, the Supreme Court in Jerusalem, that could judge people on criminal offenses, they could only judge, as the expression goes, ein ledayon elo ma she'enov ro'os, that a judge could only judge based on the evidence that was presented for him to see. A judge did not have the option of reading intention. They could ask questions, but you could never know what's going on in somebody's heart. And what that means is that if a case came before the Sanhedrin, as today, if a case comes before the courts, the fact that the individual may well have remorse over what they have done wrong is irrelevant to the verdict. We look at the case, we see what happened, and we have to apply the law as it is required to be done. Now, it's possible in spiritual terms that somebody's done teshuvah, and that they've completely fixed on a spiritual level whatever it is that they had done wrong. That would be irrelevant in the courts. The Sanhedrin would still have to prosecute or even execute the individual, regardless of their spiritual contrition. Now we don't have a Sanhedrin. That's no longer an option. So the only one who judges us is God. The Talmud makes an interesting observation. It says, after the Sanhedrin was dissolved, it's not as if law and order came to a halt. Hashem has his ways. So whatever was supposed to happen to a person, had they gone through the legal process, Hashem will find a way through the natural process that it will happen to them, even to the extent of capital punishment. And it goes through a list over there. Should a person have deserved this kind of capital punishment, that kind of natural mishap will happen to them. The only difference is that now Hashem is the sole judge as opposed to human judges, which means that if we shift our perspective and we do teshuvah and we are really contrite and we reorient ourselves completely, Hashem, who can read our hearts, can let us off the hook. That's especially relevant when you come to the month of Elul, because one of the verses our sages associate with the month of Elul is the verse that speaks about a person who, God forbid, kills somebody accidentally and then has to run to the city of refuge in order to protect him from being attacked by the vigilantes within the family. Now, obviously, he couldn't leave that city of refuge, even if he had done teshuvah, even if he had tried to move himself spiritually. There was a law. The law was you stay there until the Kohen Gadol passes away, and that's it. There's no escape. Nowadays, the month of Elul, we're told, is the city of refuge. This is our place to go. This is our opportunity once a year on the calendar year where whatever might have been our history up until this point, we're protected from it. Of course, we need to choose to enter the city of refuge, right? If a person's being chased and they don't run to the place of protection, then they're vulnerable. So if we're being haunted by our past or by our negative thoughts or by our bad behavior and we don't embrace Elul, well, then unfortunately we don't have the opportunity. But this is a month that gives us the opportunity to escape. And the good news is there's no court that's going to determine how long we have to go through this escape process. Hashem can read our hearts, which means one shift, one moment of reorientation, one shift of mindset that says, I'm going to actually do things differently this year, and I sincerely mean it, is enough for Hashem to protect us from those who would want to drag us down, which is primarily our own bad habits and our own toxic thinking. So it's an incredible time of the year. All we need is to sincerely want to move and to change, and then Hashem reads our intentions and gives us the protection and the direction that we need to become better, stronger, more elevated, more spiritual, more healthy people.